I've been seeing a lot of memes and a lot of videos about how things aren't what they used to be. No shit, they're not. That's called the passage of time. I think they're referring to when times were simpler, when life was simpler and more carefree, maybe. Probably talking about it being less expensive. But is it really that much different than when it was before? I mean, I was born in '68. I'm definitely a child of the '70s and '80s, where life was more analog, meaning it was simpler, entertainment-wise, and I think nowadays, I mean, we have these fucking things. That's a choice. This is a choice. I think even if we had cell phones back in the '70s and '80s, it's a choice whether to be slave to the cell phone. So yeah, that sort of did complicate things, didn't it? It made life a little more sophisticated, and but it's a choice. And I think if you want a simple life, you can have a simple life. But if you don't, how much of that is your choice? Do you need the latest and greatest gadgets? Do you need to be slaved to your phone, your computer, your tablet, your television? That's all a choice. So if you actually put some thought and effort into it, you could live to a certain degree like you did in the past. You can have a simple life. I know lots of people that they have a very happy, simple life because they choose to not fall for, I always say the trappings, but there's no real better words, the trappings of modern day society and being led down the path of debt so that you can have a better life. Obviously, it's relative to your own life and what you do for a living and expectations out of that life. But I think in general, these people that long for a simple life, well, question, what are you missing and what can you do in your own life to have that less sophisticated, complicated life? What can you do personally? I don't think we're that far removed from the past. Yes, things have gotten more expensive. Groceries have gotten more expensive. Bills, life, and rent has gotten more expensive. So does that mean your life can't be less complicated and more simple? Is that a word? I don't think so. In fact, I think I was mentioning this to Sherry this morning on coffee, over coffee. Because of the high cost of life, people my son's age, in their early 20s, they might be forced into living a very simple life because they can't afford all this shit out there that they don't need to begin with. And my son, he hasn't fallen for that crap. You know, you need to spend money to be happy. He hasn't fallen for that. It's just not the way he lives his life. And he saves his money and he spends it cautiously. So I think that's fantastic. And there's no reason why more people his age or even my age can't do that with their own livelihoods. So yeah, cars have become expensive. Well, no one says you need to buy a brand new car. No one says you need to buy a car you can't afford or a truck or whatever the fuck. You can buy a decent used vehicle. Nothing wrong with that. No one's saying you can't, but you choose to, and now you can't afford it. So has that made your life complicated? I don't know. Sounds like it might have. where you live and how you live, sure, this place cost me a lot of money. However, I'm choosing to live in this place, but I can afford it. I'm not struggling check to check. I can afford it, and it's just the way it is. If I had to, I would live in a less expensive place, and I'd be perfectly happy because I've lived in all kinds of places, all the way from residence at the ski resort where it's just the size of our master bedroom. That was it. I've lived in big houses, townhouses, studio apartments, and I'm basement suites of friends. Like, I'm happy no matter where I live. And part of that is because I live in places that I can afford and that don't kill me financially. So it comes down to a choice. If you're living in a city and the only thing you can do is afford something that is strapping you, well, you either have to move from that city to somewhere that's more affordable for you, or just spend less somewhere else, you know? Maybe if you're living in a city, you can't really afford to live there and save money, well, you can probably do without a car. And a lot of people do, like in Vancouver. Anyways, I think my point is, life can be as simple as it was in the past. Affordability, well, again, that's a personal choice. Do you need to eat out? Do you need to go to the bars all the time? Do you need to spend $7 on a pint of beer when you can buy a 6-pack for $12 and just drink that at home and have just as nice a time? No one's forcing these people that are complaining that life is not what it used to be to live that way. And I think it's kind of funny. I know I shouldn't laugh at other people's way of life or judge it, because I get accused of being very judgy, when all I'm doing is providing commentary based on my feelings. That's all it is. At the end of the day, to each their own. But don't cry and moan about it. Oh, I wish life was simpler. Yeah. It's a choice. You're making a choice for it not to be simpler. And then you're just going on social media and complaining that your life is hectic and overcomplicated. You know, we raised 3 kids, my ex-wife and I, and it wasn't complicated. We just made conscientious decisions to do things simply and to live simply. So, hi babe. I'm doing a video. I'm almost done it. So don't come into the frame without all your clothes on and be bare nakeds. Anyways, I'm wrapping it up. It's a video about people that complain, I wish life was simpler. Why? You can have a simple life right now. I mean, you choose to live complicated or not.
I just want to do a shout out to the nice lady that I met in my workplace. And she said she watched Trevor's videos all the time. Thanks, you're so sweet.
Sorry. Anyways, I had a shower already. I'm good.
Excellent.
Bathroom's all yours. See? A simple life. You don't need 4 bathrooms. You share 1 bathroom. Life can work that way. I don't know. It was just an observation. Oh, I wish life was more simple like it was in the past. Not much has changed. This has changed. This is a choice. You can either choose to be enslaved by it and everything that comes with it, or not. That's step 1. I don't know what else to say. You can actually live a simple life. I think that's all I got to say this morning. I know families. I know I just mentioned my family. And by comparison, I know other families. Husband and wife, 3 daughters. And their life, to me, is a living hell. It is just so frantic and complicated and overscheduled. And it's just, there's no peace and quiet. It's chaos from the beginning of the day to the end of it. I just think, oh my God. No thanks. All right, I've said enough. You want a simple life? Make a simple life. You can. No one's forcing you to live a complicated, sophisticated life. You're choosing to do it. You really are. Easy for you to say. No, it's easy to do. Fuck.